Originally, there weren't very many people at the game, but things slowly started to fill in the parking lot and in the bleachers. This is all in light of the district deciding students will no longer be allowed to attend games following the fights that happened last week, but parents seem to be on board.
I mean, unfortunately, it went down like that, but in a way, it's a good thing for both sides.
This is video from the chaos at the Beecher versus Flint Southwestern football game that took place last week, prompting big changes to the way both schools allow their home football games to run.
It was ridiculous. It was almost like 60 kids fighting out there, parents too.
In a letter from Flint Community Schools superintendent detailing how students will no longer be allowed to attend all remaining home football games and all spectators will need pre-approval. Beecher High School also sending letters home stating similar changes will be implemented for the remainder of their home games as well, including Friday's homecoming game.
What happened last week, it was like really out of control. Like, so, I mean, for parent safety, because like last week I had my 4-year-old daughter at the game and I wasn't comfortable with it. So
Scooter is a parent to a football player on the field. He tells me while neither teams had a role in what happened during last week's football game, it's unfortunate they also have to deal with the consequences.
And that's unfortunate for the whole football team or whatever, because I know kids play better when they got the fans behind them, but they just gonna have to play. They gonna have to play themselves now. So us as parents, we got to do better on that. Like, I mean, because that's where it starts at home. Like, if you can't control your kids at home, how you expect a stranger to control it?
Chancellor says total enrollment has declined a little over 30% and that graduation rates over the last 6 years are the lowest among the state's 15 public universities, he says. And he says they are going to do everything possible to address the problem head on. Deborah Duda is the chancellor of U of M Flint. He says not only have enrollment and graduation rates dropped, the student-faculty ratio is at 13.6, which the chancellor says is low. Duda says right now this state has a declining high school population, meaning fewer of those students are coming to college. But in order to retain and attract students, Duda says they are going to grow popular programs at the university. For students like Patrick Nard, he says having the university be a part of the community would help solve this problem.
Every other public university in the state is 16, 17, 18, 20.
What can we do to help the people that's right around us? Because if we can't start with the smaller people that needs to get in the beginning stages, if you can't get the kids to want to be a part of something, they're going to want to go somewhere else.
Now, the university has not made any final decisions on how they want to handle this drop in enrollment and graduation rates. But Chancellor Deborah Duda says he wants students, staff, and faculty to continue to provide feedback on this situation.
Energy costs are up this year like everything else. One thing that's coming down, the temperatures, prompting some people to kick on the furnace. But before you do, you might want to make sure it's running efficiently, says Consumers Energy spokesperson Josh Pachorik.
The more efficient your furnace is, the less energy it'll use, and therefore the lower your heating bills will be. And
contractors say changing the filter and regular maintenance can prevent or address problems before you're left shivering.
When a customer calls with no heat, 60% of the time it's due to lack of maintenance.
From his Mount Morris Township shop, Lyons Heating and Cooling owner Josh Lyons says he's seen it all.
You'd be surprised. They're heating their houses with ovens, space heaters. Obviously, a furnace running properly, well maintained, would be the most efficient way.
Not only could faulty furnaces pose a risk,
they can leak carbon monoxide, which could be harmful to a human or a pet.
But alternative ways of heating can present dangers. Pachorik says that includes the improper use of space heaters.
Don't leave your home, don't leave the room with those plugged on. Keep an eye on those.
He says you can also check for drafts or airflow from your windows or doors. Reduce the temperature of the water heater and consider using a smart thermometer, something that Lyons is a fan of.
If you do have a programmable thermostat, use the program. Don't just bypass it like a lot of people do.